everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio, and excuse my dirty hands. I have just finished up, well, I finished mostly cleaning up from my online spring retreat, and we used embossing paste and lots of ink refills, thus the dirty hands. I can't wait to switch out my nails, but I had waited till that retreat was done because sometimes it's really fun to make a mess, right? And it was a messy retreat, but so much fun. If you have not played, and I mean really played with embossing paste, you're missing out. And I had a couple of old containers. I'll just show you because, like I said, I've been cleaning up. Look, I used one all the way up, but these are old. This is one of our old things, and then here's one that I was using towards the end. And then on my very last project, we did lots of projects, and I really got to play with it. I am going to do a presentation at our upcoming demonstrator event. Here's a new one. I hadn't opened a new embossing paste, obviously, for years, so I did do that on the last one. But my hands are a little bit messy, but I wanted to get, my attention has been to that and to the demonstrator event. So I haven't done a video for this channel for a minute. And then I have my in-person stamp camp coming up on Friday. So I needed a couple of projects for that. So I'm going to tie a whole bunch of things into this project. And then this is going to be a tiny series, probably just 2 cards. But when I was doing this card, I was really torn on whether to use the dies or the stamps. And I thought, well, I'll just do 2. So I'm not quite sure which one we'll make at camp, but it will be for both. And then I want to use this paper for our demonstrator event too. You know, when you get busy, you make things do as many double duties as they can. So my retreat cards will also play a part in camp, also play a part in my shoebox swap, because we have some non-demonstrators coming on Saturday night, so one of those cards will be for them. So let's get going on this. So I'm going to use Dainty Delight, the bundle, and part of the reason I'm using it is it's back in stock. So I did take a quick look. I noticed that the loose daisies are back in stock. The Dainty Delight is back in stock. Maybe the Seaside bundle is back in stock. There's a whole bunch of things that have dates that are right around the corner, like into this week next, that will be in stock. So things are coming in quickly, but I know a bunch of you had this on your list. So if you were waiting on this, get it now because it's back in stock. So I wanted to use it because I have been putting off using it because you couldn't get it. So now I can. And I was trying to figure out a way to put those little daisies on. It didn't match. The other thing is I have already picked what I am using for club next month because some of the designer series papers are selling out, and I didn't want the paper. I had 2 different papers that I had gone back and forth on. I'd gone back and forth on the stamp set. I thought about the grapefruit, like the lemon citrus bundle. But I really wanted to use that Linen Prince, the blue, and it's on low inventory, so I just went ahead and ordered it today. So I already have the April paper, and I think that I'll probably use the stamps that go with it, but I'm going to get the paper and then kind of take a closer look. Because I was trying to get Retreat finished up, but when I saw a bunch of the papers on low inventory, I didn't want to not have a paper that I loved to be able to work on with you guys. So as the retired list comes out, that last chance list will be out March 29th. So Dainty Delight, back in stock, bunch of stuff back in stock. Now I'm going to use some online exclusives. I have not used this yet. This is the Naturally Gilded 12 by 12 paper. So we're going to use a couple of different online exclusives. So the only way you'll ever see these, well, if you follow me, I'm going to try to always show you all of them if I can. So I haven't shown you the rhinos yet. I haven't shown you the alphabet, which I bought for my daughter, and I was going to, oh, maybe she left it here. If it is, I think it might be on the floor behind me, so I'll try to use that this week. This is really beautiful paper. Copper is my favorite metal, and look at that. So very pretty. I'm going to use the gold today just because it was on top. So you can see it's layered on vanilla, and then the silver is layered on the white, and then the copper is on the white. So it's 12 by 12. You get 3 sheets of each color. 12 by 12, and it's paperweight. It's a little bit thicker than designer series paper, like that step kind of in between. It's not cardstock weight. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use the ribbon that you have seen me use, and then you've seen me use a couple of the folders. So the folders that are part of the online exclusive come in a 3 set. So you get all 3 of the folders. And this one, I don't even know. I think maybe they have names. You can always look down below the video and I will have shown you the product. But I'm going to use this one today. I'm going to use the ribbon, and then I'm going to show you the loose dots. I am going to use these. I ordered a ton of them because I did get them for club. So if you're in club, and I had 2 less than I needed, but one of my girlfriends came in and saved the day because she had them and she wasn't going to use them. She'd ordered them in pre-order. They're the loose frosted dots. So if you go, when you shop for online exclusives, here's the way it works. So if you go to my website now and you're like, I want to order these, it will say, I think it says currently unavailable. So if you see that currently unavailable, it means they're coming back. Now, if you ask me, I will be able to tell you the projected date once Stampin' Up! Has it. It's not always exactly true because, you know, supply chain issues these days. Who would have dreamed? I mean, you can go to the grocery store and know that supply chain still has an issue, right? Whoever thought that 2-minute noodles would be not on the shelves when you need 2-minute noodles, or that milk wouldn't be there, or different kinds of bread, or that, you know, you can go to whole aisles in the grocery store and the supply chain is broken. It just doesn't work. So when Stampin' Up! Knows and has a estimated date, then they can tell us. So I can see that on our side of the website. So if you see that it says currently unavailable, that means it's coming back. So if you go there one day and you're like, I want those loose frosted dots, and they're not there, that means they're not ever coming back. The online exclusives will not ever be in a catalog, just as the name suggests. They're online exclusives, so they're exclusively online. That will give Stampin' Up! The opportunity to introduce things more often and not have to worry about them being in print, because they're working on like 2025 catalog right now. So if things become unavailable, they don't have to sign contracts. They don't have to find suppliers. And in this new world that we live in, it kind of frees them up. So there's several things still. I haven't shown you the rhinos. I haven't shown you these, which are some new dies. There's a bunch of stuff on there, and I've just been so busy. I've been trying to show you, but I'm going to use these today just to show you that just because you may hear from somebody, well, they don't have those anymore, it doesn't mean that we won't have them. Like the paper that we're using for Club this month, the Happy Hello Irresistible, it's currently not available. It's coming back. The same with the stamp set and the dies. It's the dies that are currently unavailable, but they're coming back. And that's how you're able to tell without having inside scoop, is to just go to the website and see if it says currently unavailable. So I'm going to take soft suede, and then I'm going to tell you, give you a little bit more inside scoop here in a second on something else. I'm going to put my soft suede in here. And you know, the little line at the bottom, this kind of looks like an old-fashioned tin roof. This card doesn't take very long to make. So that's why I can fill you in on a little bit. And I hope all of you that are in the retreat, you've gotten your introduction video and you've gotten your first 2 projects. The videos are long. So I have been fighting with my iPhone storage for days. My husband's battery is dying on his phone, which used to be my phone. I think it's time I get a new phone and he takes mine. Isn't that pretty? So just soft suede. It's going to make a false front. So we have that. Now I'm going to put my regular things on here. And then, like I said, I'm going to use a sentiment stamp, but this is the gold glimmer paper out of the mini. So on March 29th, and I misspoke in an email because I was, sometimes I'm old school and I do I think old school on all the ways. So I told you the last chance list, March 29th, which is still true, that we don't know the stuff that's going on sale until April 4th. So that will give you time to know if there's something that you can't live without before it goes on sale. So there is a chance that something could sell out before it ever has the opportunity to go on clearance. Some of those things will be the end colors. because oftentimes those refills in the cardstock for the popular in colors will sell out. Sometimes the stamp sets, the paper that I'm using, like I said, is already on low inventory. I just picked some of the flowers that are the dies for this. And in the next card where I use this paper and this, I'm gonna use the same paper, but I'm gonna use the stamp sets. But I will use the stamps. I'll use the dies too, but I'm gonna stamp in color. So just roll this through. That beautiful, this is the prettiest, I think it's called fine shimmer paper. So pretty. Move this out of the way. I'll just keep those there a second. And then I'm gonna take, I've cut the paper. So normally I would cut a piece of paper like this 4 by 5 1/4. But this, and this is a false front, but I want to be able to see some of that background. So I cut this, it's like 1/4 inch smaller than 4, and then it's 5. And you don't see a lot of it, but you see enough then that you see that pattern. Then I'm going to use my blending brushes, and I have 2 colors. So I have soft suede. So Stampin' Up! Is doing a color refresh. They do it every 3 to 5 years. So nobody should be shocked because it's been 5 years since our last color refresh. So when they tell you they're going to do something every 3 to 5 years and it's been 5, that means they're going to do a color refresh. So they will take our 4 color families. We do in colors every year. This is soft suede, which is our paper that I just chose. They will take the 4 color families and they'll move some around. They may take out some colors that they just don't think are trendy anymore. And then they may take some old in colors. One, if you remember when Pretty Peacock was an in color, if you notice, it's in the Hello Irresistible paper. It is also one of the loose frosted dies in here. It's Pretty Peacock. And I happen to have a Pretty Peacock refill, which is weird because I don't keep my past in colors. I just don't have the space. But I had a refill, and so I refilled an uninked ink spot. So I do have some Pretty Peacock, because when they put it in a paper, it kind of makes you feel like maybe that's a returning color. And so they'll kind of mix them around, and they'll make our colors be a little bit more up to date. It's never a huge thing if you've kept past in colors. Really, all you have to do is kind of move them around. And sometimes you go back. Lost Lagoon is also in there. The other thing that we're wondering if some of the online exclusive things, because if you notice, some of our circle punches are back in there as an online exclusive. That means it doesn't have to take up space in the catalog for something that we've sold in the past. And then when they have them in stock, they can be in there. And when they don't, they can kind of just take them out. So they had circle punches show up, they sold out, and right now it says currently unavailable. And when they get them back in, then they'll be able to sell them again. So I think this is a really pretty combination. So here is a little fun fact. So I don't remember how long ago Pretty Peacock was a color. It's been a minute, at least 3 years ago. It's been a minute since Pretty Peacock was one of our colors. But our friend who is hosting our demonstrator event is also a demonstrator. And Lisa owns a wedding barn event facility. So she stays up on all of the current trends for weddings. And the hottest color, I should have done it, those colors. The hottest colors right now, upcoming for brides, peacock, even called peacock. And the color combination for weddings, peacock and Cajun Craze. So it's not called Cajun Craze, but it is Cajun Craze. So you put those 2 colors together, and for 2023, 2024 weddings, that's supposed to be the current color. So it would make total sense if Stampin' Up! Is getting new colors, that peacock would make an appearance, because if you're going to start making wedding cards, invitations, shower cards, or congratulations on your wedding, that you will probably be going to some peacock themed colored weddings. Now this has that gold color on top so that the ink will resist that. See, so you'll want to wipe off the gold. So just wipe that gold off and that'll be all shiny again. So not shocking when you look at kind of color trends. because a lot of times Stampin' Up! Is a little bit ahead of the curve. I don't know how many times you've seen a stamp set, and we have it. We have a llama stamp set, and our llama stamp set goes away, and then you're out at Home Goods and everything's llamas. And you're like, oh, Stampin' Up! Has one of those. And then you go to the catalog and you're like, oh no, and they don't have it anymore, because we kind of are before the trend. So when we do a color refresh, it kind of helps us get the colors back in that are part of the trend. So let's go over here and get all of our little gold dies. Okay, I'm going to use my fine tip glue. You don't want to put too much glue on here because that ink on the top, it could smear. So I'm going to just grab some leaves, enough that it will hold it down. And this is all just very, wherever it kind of falls is where it stays. And then I'm going to just grab one of the sentiments out of the set. And this is literally a piece of scrap watercolor cardstock that is laying here from, I think, another online exclusive card I made the other day, the one that has the little tree on it. I'm just going to use my little ink spot. So you can get these ink spots in the back of a catalog. Get maybe 5 or 6 of them. They're just uninked. And then you can just fill them with an ink refill. And I hate to waste watercolor cardstock because it's one of our, it's not cheap. It's not expensive, but it's not our cheapest cardstock. So I just have Celebrate You, and then I'm just going to take, I'm not going to even put more ink on these. These are just the ink that's left from what was in there when I put it on the back. So there's a little bit of Peacock, a little bit of Soft Suede, and I'm just going to kind of slap it on there. So the watercolor cardstock has a little bit of texture. It's a little bit thicker. I'm just going to take my scissors, trim that off, and then just trim around it in a shape. I don't want this to be big, because if you put something big on the beautiful paper, you're just going to cover up all of this, and I don't want that covered up. I want my word sentiment to be on there, but I don't want it to detract from the background. And then put my stems on there, and then that can cover up the stems but not cover up the design. I'm going to reverse these from my other one. I think these flowers match pretty well, the flowers that are on the background piece of this. And it doesn't take a lot of glue to hold this on. So I'm not going to put any more than I need because I don't want to smear the ink. So there's that, and then there's it can cut a stem, and you can cut more than one if you want. I was good with one. Just going to brush this on here. And then I'm good to just drop it, and where it drops is where it goes. And then I'm going to add some glue here. You can use it, a seal or something else if you want. And put this over the top of those. And then just press down. And now before I put these little flowers on, I have a few little ones. I'm very carefully going to flip this over. It's one of those cards that's a little bit to get your stuff on there. If there's not the best way to do it, there's ways to do it. All of them have a little bit of challenge to them. I'm going to add some Seal Plus down here because I'm working with the cardstock that's been run through the folder. And this is the ribbon. It's an online exclusive. It's a double pack. It has silver and gold. So for this particular card, of course, the gold is perfect. That's how long I need to go across the front of this card. And everything stayed. And I just want it to go across here. But I want to be able to put those little flowers on and not have this cover those up. So fold that across the back. This will make sure it's straight. Just fold that over here. Then you don't want to lay this on your table because the Seal Plus is pretty sticky. It's even stuck to my fingers. Now I'm going to take this. And you don't want to do your Seal Plus onto this, because if you've tried this before, it will just tear that right up, because this is strong and this has ripped the fibers up in your paper. But now I can put this on here now that I've got that sticky on the back and the ribbon where I want it to be. And now I can finish putting everything on here, because this is just going to go on my card. Now I can just kind of put these around. They're not going to have stems, but you can, if that bothers you, you can attach them to stems that are on here. It doesn't bother me. So I'm just going to kind of add them to spots on my card. Now I have some embossing paste and some peacock and some suede all over my fingers. It's just been a messy stamp week, which is not a bad thing, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card. How pretty. Oh, there's another flower. Hiding all over the place, and I didn't even use all of them. It can cut out tops for the flowers, so you could do those in a different color. Maybe if I had some peacock cardstock, which I probably do somewhere. I just don't have time right now to search for it. But there's several other flowers that I didn't use. So when you do a false front, it's pretty easy. Just line it up over to the edge and then let it fall down. Get this one on here. I just like it mainly for the extra bits of colors. Now I'm going to do 5 of my loose dots, and then I'm going to hope that I have enough to finish off my card club. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It doesn't really matter wherever. Put my lid on so my glue doesn't dry up. And I'm only going to use the peacock colors of these on this card. The secret is to remember where you put all of your dots of glue, which they're pretty easy to see on this one because I just said that and now I can't find them. There we go. 3. 4. And there's the other one. Oops, I flipped it upside down. So if you love the loose dots, don't worry about it. They will be back shortly. Oh, I looked. Early May, I think. Maybe April. Maybe it was April, mid-April. If you need to know, then I'm happy to look it up for you, or I'll put it in my website or in my email, I guess. When I put it in my website and the information changes, then I don't think to go back and change it. Is that not beautiful? And I'm excited with the prospect of getting the peacock back. So check back in a day or two and I will have the other card with another one of the papers and another one of the, and using the stamps from that. March 29th, I will have the last chance list. I will have some kind of a special. Stampin' Up, like I said, isn't going to have a discount, but I will have a special on the last 29th and 30th of March, just 2 days. So I'll have some kind of extra something for the last chance list that time. And card club for this month, and normally I have it open till the 10th. So I may have it open to the 10th, but because I've chosen a paper that is already on low inventory, I ordered enough plus like 2. And I always have some people drop out and I always have some new people. But if I am out of paper before the 10th, then I will have to close it for April. So everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you soon. Bye.